What's up, everybody? Good afternoon. Thanks for coming out today. Who has the first question?
Max, wanted to start with you. Of course, a big opportunity here for you to get a second title, but this will have a little asterisk, right? I mean, it's an interim title, so only a handful of people have accomplished this. I wonder, if you get this done, where do you feel you rank at alongside those? I mean, do you think you should be considered with them, or do you feel like you'd have to win the unified title to really be considered a true double champ?
Look, Khabib said he wanted to fight me, but he wanted me to prove myself. And I got Dustin, and April 13th, I decided to prove myself. I'm going to go out there and prove myself, and when he's ready to come back, I'll be ready.
And what is your current plan for your future at 145? I mean, do you have to kind of wait and see how this fight plays out? I mean, what do you intend to do at 145?
Yeah, after that Ortega fight, I had to take some time personally and some business stuff. And then they came to me with this fight in April. You don't let these ones slip through your fingers. So, at the end of the day, first things first, I got Dustin Poirier, and we can talk to the UFC after that, I don't think Frankie or Jose deserve a champ that's not willing to defend for a year. So after this one, if I go back down, like I said in the summer, that would be fun. But first things first, April 13th.
Dustin, if I could for you, can you talk about just the mental adjustment you had to make? I mean, you go from one day saying, I wish they'd just let me go because they're not doing any fights, to now I'm in a title fight. Can you talk about the mental adjustment it takes to be that frustrated and then to switch into now I got to be in training camp for a title fight?
It wasn't hard at all, man. I got the call, and right away the switch flipped, and I was in championship mode. I was ready to grind. I was ready to continue what I was doing. I was already in South Florida for 7 weeks, just preparing, hoping something big was coming. So yeah, I got frustrated because I felt like I was being punished for other guys' actions in a division that's top heavy. I didn't want to be waiting around. I wanted to be fighting. And here we are, April 13th, Max Holloway for the interim lightweight championship. It's beautiful.
Dustin, when you moved up to 155, your career, I mean, it skyrocketed, and your performances were fantastic. Max has had a stellar run at 145. Are you expecting an even tougher Max, that maybe he's not dealing with that weight cut? I mean, what kind of fight are you expecting here?
Yeah, it might benefit him. He might come in feeling better than ever, and I'm expecting that. This is going to be a hell of a fight. This is both of us, our fight IQ, this is a high-level fight. We have 40 fights between us in the UFC. I mean, this is going to be a hell of a fight, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the moment, the challenge. Not only do I accept this and look forward to this, I honor this. I go to bed at night. I can't wait. 25 minutes. Let's go.
Thanks, Dustin. And Dana, just quickly, if I could for you, I mean, I don't think there's a fan alive that isn't excited about this fight, but where does it leave Tony Ferguson? I mean, the guy was the interim champion. I know I've heard the stories. He didn't want the fight, but I mean, where does he fit now in the title picture, and what do you do with Tony Ferguson?
I don't know. I say all the time, when there's an opportunity, take it. And everybody who's sitting up here today is proof of that. You take the opportunities, and you get the shot. I don't know where this leaves Tony. Tony didn't want the fight. It's the fight I wanted. I mean, we even tried to make the fight with these two, and he didn't want it. You can't make anybody fight, man. If he doesn't want to fight, he doesn't want to fight.
Fair enough. And just one last one for me, Dana. I want to ask you about this weekend's fight, the welterweight title fight. Colby Covington has been a busy man this week. I think there's an argument that he's either A, up next for the welterweight winner, or B, you should cut him after he stalked you at the blackjack table last night. So, between those two, where do you stand on Colby Covington right now? Is he the #1 contender, or should he be gone after what he did last night?
Colby Covington is, he's another perfect example. He was offered the fight. He didn't take the fight. And he can come up with a million excuses on why he didn't. He didn't take the fight. You were the interim champ. You were next in line for Tyron Woodley. We offered you the fight in Dallas or somewhere in Texas. He didn't take the fight, and that's that. Everybody thinks I hate this kid. I don't hate this kid. Even after last night, I don't hate the kid. And last night wasn't as bad as it looked on video. It looked like it was whatever. But we were cool and we talked last night. And, face to face, he gets it. He knows he didn't take the fight, so he didn't get the fight.
Just over here for Israel, kind of right in front to your left, is you've been kind of racking up the frequent flyer miles recently. You've been a busy guy. Why the quick turnaround off the fight against Anderson Silva?
Before I left Melbourne, like within 2 days, they kind of offered me this fight, and I said, just let me breathe for a second. Let me just get out of Melbourne and just chill. And I think within the next day, I was like, yep, sign me up. I'll do the fight, because interim or not interim, at the end of the day, we had a deal. We had a deal. When we sat down, Dana, we shook on it. After Anderson Silva, I get a belt in my next fight, and I'm going to do that.
I guess what Dana was saying before about if the opportunity arises, you have to take it. Was that kind of the situation here?
I think people are taking notes now. People are taking notes from last year. I fought February. I got my debut February last year to February this year. That's 5 fights in 1 year. And Dana even said, if you want to stay relevant, stay active. And I've been doing this, apart from the ties, in the Western world. No one else, apart from maybe Cowboy Cerrone, is as active as me. But yeah, people are taking notes now. I mean, John Jones says he wants to fight 4 times this year as a champ. Last I heard, people were fighting like twice. I think Robert Whittaker fought once in the last year. So yeah, I'm keeping that same energy. I'm gonna stay active.
And it's true. To talk a little further on what he's saying. So after his last fight in Australia, he said, I'm going on vacation with my family. He paid for this 3-week vacation to go away with his family. We called him and said, we're going to do this title fight. Do you want the fight? Left his vacation, left his family, went back into camp.
Lost money, but some things are more important than money.
So he left his family. He went back into camp. How bad do you want to be a champion? Do you want to get the next title shot? The guys that are sitting at this table today, they want it. So that's why they're here.
Speaking of title shots, Kelvin, you had the title shot against Whittaker. Obviously, we know what happened in Australia. Now it's for the interim belt. You already had the shot against Whittaker. Was it frustrating to have to now fight for the interim before getting the main belt shot?
No. You know, obviously I was devastated and gutted from what happened. And I understand that things happen in the sport. And, you know, we wish Rob a speedy recovery. You know, we didn't know the gratitude of what had happened at the time. So we wish him a speedy recovery. Saying that, I wanted to fight. No matter who it was, I wanted to fight. I wanted to fight for a belt. They gave me an opponent. They gave me a fight for the belt. I'm happy. Not only that, let me say it's on April 13th, which is the day that I won the Ultimate Fighter Season 17. 6 years from now, Dana, you'll be giving me the belt.
And then, just last thing for Dana, the interim fight between Max and Dustin. The winner of that definitely gets Habib next for the undisputed title.
Correct.
Okay. So Tony Ferguson has kind of been up.
So everybody who's up here today, whoever wins that belt, they move into the title fight. And I saw some talk the other day. I think it was Eddie Alvarez. You know, and I like Eddie. I have a great relationship with Eddie. But he was talking about how we give interim titles so you don't have to pay the guy so much, or some weird comment like that. When you win the interim title belt, you're looked at as a title holder. So when you go into a title fight, both guys share in the pay-per-view revenue. If you're a contender without the interim title, you don't. So there's nothing bad about holding an interim belt going into a title fight.
Eddie hasn't been right since I hit him with that last left hand either, so give him a break.
So Dana, with that being said, what do you do with Tony Ferguson? Who's next for him?
I don't know. I can't think about Tony Ferguson right now. I just offered Tony Ferguson a fight. I offered him that fight. He turned it down for whatever reason. Listen, that guy has his reasons for not wanting to take the fight. So he was offered. He declined. We move on.
And then last thing for me, Cowboy Cerrone posted the other day a photo on his Instagram, Proper 12 whiskey and a Budweiser. Cowboy versus Conor on July 6th.
Yeah, that's listen, these two have been talking about this, and I said if they want to fight, I would do it, but we're nowhere close to a fight. We're actually looking at other opponents right now for Cowboy. Oh, I know.
Hey, Calvin, right over here. You were supposed to fight for the title, and 3 hours later, you're not fighting for the title. How do you reset and you know, sort of, you know, you build up to this fight? How did you take any time off from the, you know, the scheduled fight, or did you get right back into camp? How did you reassess after the fight news?
Yeah, I guess it just goes down to going back and reassessing and digging deep. You know what I mean? I'm on the same boat as Israel. You know, I wanted to go to Cancun and hang out with my friends. If you look at their Instagrams right now, they're in Cancun. But right back on the horse. This is what we do. Like Dana said, the opportunity was offered, and I took it.
And just another follow-up question. Do you bring in anyone to train for a guy like Israel, or you just have a regular camp?
Amen. Yeah, we have guys that we come in and we bring in and we strategize.
Next question's for Max. I saw you talking about the featherweight division, but one name you didn't mention is Alex Volkanovski, who defeated Chad Mendez. Do you not think he's earned his shot at a potential title?
You know, I don't know. I don't know who earns a shot nowadays. It's simple. I have a simple relationship with the UFC. I tell them, give me the toughest guy, the hardest fight, and I send the contract back. And just leave it at that.
And last question, this is for Israel. Right over here. How much of an advantage do you think it is that you did get to fight at UFC 234 and you're just riding this momentum as opposed to Calvin, who had to reset?
So you said that word, momentum. Momentum's a powerful force. You know, keeps on rolling. And April 13th, I'm going to roll over Kelvin.
Israel.
Give me 2 weeks, I'll let you know.
Hey, Israel, how you doing?
Gravy.
2019 is shaping up to be a really big year for African fighters, especially Nigerians. Just give me your thoughts on this weekend and the possibility of the first African UFC champion.
See, that's beautiful. Like, for me, people keep saying as well, like, man, do you wish Usman loses so you can be the first Nigerian UFC champion? And I'm like, that's some crabs in the bucket mentality. Like, why would I wish him to lose? Because it's good for me. It's good for African sports. It's good for, you know, Nigerian athletes if he wins as well. So he wins, I win, we'll do a fucking tour around Africa. I mean, it'll be beautiful. And I'm telling you, man, hey, you guys think I'm the shit, but I'm the runt of my people. I'm the runt of my people. I had to earn where I'm at. You guys think I'm talented. You go back to Nigeria, I could find you a 9-year-old. You take a soccer ball out of his hands, you know, give him some MMA gloves, teach him how to grapple, and they'll be wrecking shop. So right now, before the Africans start taking over, everyone start making moves.
Thank you. And for Mr. White, what is it going to take for Max to get one of the new belts?
What's the question?
What's it going to take for him to get one of the new belts? He's got the old school belt here.
I asked him the same question.
To get a new belt? Well, he's fighting for a new belt in this fight right here. He'll get a new one if he wins this one.
All right. But in all seriousness, no, should he win the interim lightweight championship, it may be a long layoff before he gets to unify that title, the 155 belt. So will he then have to go down to featherweight, defend that, or
I don't think it will be a long time. I don't think it will be a long time. I think that after this fight, he'll be able to spend some time with his family over the summer. All these guys, whoever wins, spend some time with their family over the summer, get right back into camp, and maybe fight in September.
But should he win, he would defend the lightweight instead as opposed to the featherweight.
I don't know. We'll talk about that after. Let's see how he gets through this fight, and then we'll go from there.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Dana. John Jones brought up Brock's name. Do you have an update there? Is Brock Lesnar going to come soon?
Brock Lesnar?
Is that a fight that you would like to see?
Is Brock Lesnar coming soon?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't talked to Brock, but Brock wants to fight. He's got some obligations right now with the WWE. He's one of those guys, when it's time, he'll call me.
And is that a fight, though? We've heard about Cormier, but John Jones wants that fight, too. So.
Yeah, I don't know. It depends on when he calls. I don't think about things in the future until they're ready to go. When he's ready to go, we'll figure out who's next and whether it's Jones or Cormier. I know Cormier really wants that fight. And Cormier is awesome, man. Look at what this guy has accomplished. Look what he's done. Look what he continues to do. This guy's fought injured. People pulled out of fights. He still fought Anderson Silva. And the list goes on and on. All the things he's done for this sport and this company. And, I want to make that man happy before he retires.
So this is for Israel. Hey, so I think everybody in the building can agree that the post-fight with you and Anderson Silva was a very good moment. Can you share any advice that he might have given to you after the fight? Not necessarily right after in the cage, but if you two have been in communication since.
No, we just left it in the cage. And I prefer that because they always say, like, don't wish to meet your heroes because you might be disappointed. But I met him, I beat him, and I wasn't disappointed. And after the fight, he said to me, like, you know, you're the best now. I passed the baton to you. And yeah, he gave me some words, and I told him, yeah, this ain't my first rodeo. He ever told me, like, don't lose your focus. And I told him, yeah, I've been seeing the snakes, the vultures circling. I see a lot of things. So he just reassured me that I'm on the right path, and I should just stay on that right path. And that's what I keep doing.
Hey, Dana, just a quick follow-up, kind of more of a housekeeping thing, but why did you go with this fight as the main event? Normally it's the heavier weight classes that are at the top of the card. Why did you decide this fight to be the main event?
What do you mean? I don't know.
Normally when you have two title fights, you put the heavier weight class in the main event. You said that in the past. That's kind of normally how you choose it. Why did you decide to go with this one?
I think the 155 and 45 is called the money weight, so that's probably why.
No, because this is the reason we did that. Because if you look at everybody up here, they're fighting for an interim championship. He is a champion.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. And then just kind of another interesting question. You know, with this new belt system, you know, you only get one belt, right? So if he wins the interim title and then he wins the main title, does he get two belts, or does that interim title get a jewel on it? How
he'd get both. Yeah, he'd get both. Yeah. Those belts are expensive, man. Next question. Go ahead, buddy.
Afternoon, for Kelvin Gastelum, would this be too quick of a turnaround for you, or are you peaked already and you're good to go for next month?
Listen, these opportunities will come around, so I took it. We're going to train smart. All of our attentions are on Israel, and we're focused on that, and I'm happy with getting a fight, getting an opponent, and fighting for a belt.
What was your question? Will he turn around right away and fight again for the title? I'm deaf with the mic. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry about that. Just about how quick of a turnaround it was, and if he had already peaked or it's too soon to come right back. That was the question.
Yeah, for him to turn around this quick? Yeah, no, definitely. Well, he didn't actually fight, and he actually did, and he's turning around too. So.
Pause. Fuck that play.
Any other questions? All right, we'll get these weigh-ins going in a little while. Thank you guys for coming out early. We appreciate it.